Welcome to The Success Face. In this video, we will be discussing the concept of not knowing with Stephen D'Souza and Diana Renner. Not knowing can be a scary and intimidating place, but it can also be a place of growth and opportunity. We hope that through this discussion, you will gain a deeper understanding of the value of not knowing, and how it can lead to greater understanding and success. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the world of not knowing together. The culture of today teaches you that knowledge is beneficial. As a growing number of individuals become knowledge workers who think for a living, their income is dependent on their knowledge. Your brain's hardwired biological rewards celebrate certainty. Your brain considers a situation to be dangerous if it makes you feel uneasy or if you have to wait for answers in an unclear one. It seeks order and certainty. It will create them if it cannot locate them. There are advantages to specialization, but there are also disadvantages. We are more likely to succumb to the curse of knowledge the more competent we are. Knowledge lacks benefits. A great many people experience the ill effects of one-sided self-discernments. You might be overconfident about how much you know and consider yourself to be above average. Up to 94% of professors believe their work is superior to the norm. Clinical psychologists believe their predictions are more accurate than they actually are, and trainee surgeons trust their diagnoses more than they should. Overconfidence is a must for those working in these fields. Our purpose and values are at the core of who we are. You may be oblivious to information that comes from outside your field if you have training in it. It's hard to think about or explain your specialty in simple terms with specialized training. When they acquire the specialized language of a field, individuals use it to appear knowledgeable even when they are not. Your ability to comprehend something expands as your level of knowledge increases. This makes you more averse to look for arrangements somewhere else. Because experts don't look beyond their own fields, the predictions of generalists are typically more accurate than those of experts. You are less likely to consider questions or challenges seriously if you have too much certainty. Our willingness to let go of control and engage with what is related to our ability to engage with not knowing. Instead of conceding obliviousness, individuals imagine they know. This could result in death. For instance, when the Polish Air Force commander was aboard a plane in 2011, the pilots feared changing course would anger him. When the weather got worse, they didn't change the landing spot, and the plane crashed. Finisterre, the last of the known pilgrims traveling through Spain on the Il Camino to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela, pilgrims occasionally walk an additional 90 kilometers, 56 miles, to Cape Finisterre on the Atlantic. The word finis terrae, which means the end of the world in Latin, is the origin of the name. The edge of the known is reached when you get to Finisterre. Your journey of discovery begins beyond Finisterre. In today's organizational life, planning and strategy are seen as necessary, but they perpetuate the illusion that we can figure out a path that will get us safely to our final destination. Uncertainty makes you feel uneasy and anxious. In business, you hide behind your assigned role because admitting you don't know something could make you look stupid. This may result in a conflict between your behavior on the outside and your inner reality. You feel like you did something wrong when you don't know something you think you should know. Your inner critic has doubts when you get close to the known. The scientific method's open inquiry and experimental methodology is one of the most direct ways to engage with the unknown. Comfortable, but not the most effective, is adhering to the established. Carol Dweck, a Stanford researcher, argues in her seminal book Mindset that people operate in one of two mindsets. When you have a fixed mindset, you think your intelligence and abilities are fixed. You succeed or fall flat due to your inborn capacities. If you have a growth mindset, you believe that you can grow and that your success will be determined by your commitment to practice and discipline. People who have fixed mentalities are more likely to stick to what is familiar. Failure can feel like a bad review and is threatening. The call, you won't always be able to tell when you've crossed the line into the unknown. As you attempt to solve a complex problem, you may stumble to the edge of your knowledge. When confronted with the unknown, people frequently deny it or turn away. For instance, you might feel worried when you are wild. You take shelter in schedules and formal design, or become detached and crushed. You either retreat into excessive analysis or act irrationally to escape those feelings. However, you may occasionally hear what mythologist Joseph Campbell referred to as a call. What you know doesn't satisfy you in some way. That's when things start to change and you go into the unknown. We generally believe that we have limited options and tend to paper over the gaps in our knowledge when we are faced with a dilemma, a difficult problem to solve, or a new situation, the author writes. Reframe the feeling of not knowing in order to understand the call. It is not the negative aspect of a binary, where knowledge is advantageous and ignorance is detrimental. The relationship between light and dark is analogous to ignorance. Light is better for seeing, but darkness gives you time to recharge and recover. In the dark, seeds germinate, dark wombs produce babies. Learn from artists who frequently plunge into the unknown and live on the edge of knowing. Quick fixes applied to complex problems are short-term solutions that don't go deep enough into the issues. Think about explorers like Adern Pasabin, who started climbing mountains as a teen. She became the first woman to conquer all of the world's peaks higher than 8,000 meters, 26,247 feet, by scaling ever-increasing mountains. She found her way by going after what she wanted, not by knowing where she was going before she started. We have no ability to take on new learning and respond to reality as it presents itself in the actual moment when we are full of our own thoughts. Not knowing stands at the core of a few callings. Psychotherapists must have faith in the therapy process in order to support their clients' development while not knowing where it will lead. They should not make assumptions about patients. The application of the scientific method is how scientists engage the unknown. Researchers using this method are required to conduct an open inquiry and acknowledge when experimental results contradict their hypotheses or expectations. Entrepreneurs find themselves in circumstances unrelated to their own. They must give up the idea that they are aware of and know what the market wants them to do. Your negative capabilities. Samuel Taylor Coleridge, a romantic poet, admired Shakespeare's capacity for uncertainty, mystery, and doubt. This quality, he said, was a negative capability. Leaders and businesspeople are urged by theorists to combine their knowledge and skills with negative capabilities. Harmony Buddhism suggests embracing a novice's brain. Try to see the world without preconceived notions and approach each experience as if you were just starting out. Executives must adopt a novel approach as they find themselves in situations in which their own experience is not particularly useful. Take Peter King, the CEO of Energeticos. Energeticos had a low profit when he joined the company in 2003. It suffered a loss of $300,000. King made the decision to have faith in his employees after reading the book Maverick by Ricardo Semler. King made salaries and all other company information available to employees. A few specialists were not content with their compensation. King instructed them to develop criteria for receiving raises and grading their work. The organizational chart was abandoned by employees, who instead collaborated in teams on specific projects when necessary. King didn't make all of these changes at once, which may have been too much for some people. In order to facilitate adaptability, he paced the redistribution of power. Roles are like a protective cloak that we can hide behind to avoid being vulnerable when we don't know. If you remain clear about your values and purpose, the core of who you are, you can change a lot about how you work. You can confidently enter the unknown with that foundation. A leader is required to lead an organization into the unknown. Some businesses allow all employees to participate in strategic planning or open their processes. Admitting your uncertainty. Leaders can follow Socrates' example and acknowledge their ignorance. Being sincere opens doors to new experiences. When you admit that you don't know when other people expect you to know, you show humility and connect with other people. Compare the strict work ethic of the American East with the gold rush in the West, which made failure less of a stigma. Doubting yourself is useful practice. You will be liberated and able to make better decisions if you admit your doubts and questions. While denying doubt may make you look good, admitting it allows you to seek assistance, consider your deeper desires, and consider alternative paths. If you prepare the ground, your journey into the unknown can be more rewarding. Change was prepared for by the Financial Times, FT. This well-established newspaper's leaders were aware that it needed to become more digital. The newspaper came up with the slogan, "Digital First," to show that it is going online. However, the FT also reaffirmed its commitment to producing high-quality journalism, which had always been its strength. The management of the newspaper educated and assisted its employees in adapting to the process. It is certain to be foolish to make decisions when we do not know the answer, but sometimes we must act the fool. Put more skin in the game to deal with the unknown. When you start new projects, if you also have something at risk, people will trust you more. Make the obscure more valuable by getting a sense of ownership with it. Work with the unknown until you discover what will or should happen if you don't know. Liking playing jazz, leading change and leading others as an improvisational process. Change how you see the world to make it new again. This can take a variety of forms. It is possible to literally close your eyes to see new things. Like the Frenchman Xavier de Maistre, who invented room travel. After being sentenced to house arrest, you can change your vision metaphorically. As if he were writing a travelogue, he recorded everything he saw inside his house. The choice to remain silent and listen enables you to comprehend more clearly. Like the Quakers, combine silence with contemplation or meditation. Shared silence allows those present to relax their barriers and gives everyone a chance to listen, despite the fact that individuals can and do use silent meditation. When patients describe their symptoms, on average, doctors listen for only 23 seconds before interrupting. These doctors make diagnoses based on incomplete data. Significant gamble. You can leave the known through investigating new choices and places, and facing a significant challenge. Being willing to embrace mistakes is a prerequisite for experimentation. Another is to fail more quickly make models or prototypes, test them, learn from the experience, and do it again. You can gain knowledge from your failures. Take inspiration from the Fool image on tarot cards. This archetype enjoys defying expectations to the fullest. Find ways to make your activities entertaining and funny. People who are on the edge of the known feel less tension when they laugh. Be brave enough to follow your curiosity to the unknown. Proceed with compassion and empathy, because sometimes this will expose you and other people. As you discover the unfamiliar, build solidarity with others rather than attempting to always confront change on your own. Thank you for watching our latest video on The Success Face, about not knowing. We hope that the insights shared by Stephen D'Souza and Diana Renner have provided you with valuable perspective on the importance of embracing uncertainty and the power of continuous learning. Remember, it's okay to not have all the answers. In fact, it's a sign of strength to admit when you don't know something and seek out the knowledge you need to grow and improve. We hope you'll join us for more thought-provoking discussions on leadership and personal growth in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date on all our latest content. Thanks for tuning in.